You're listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. It has been 30 days since Miami played on home ice. Now they're back riding an amazing win streak, the best start to a Miami season since 2007. Miami currently is one of the only teams in the NCAA that are undefeated. Will that change tonight? Only time will tell. Last week, Miami was on the road against Lindenwood. Miami swept the competition, winning both games in overtime. But enough about last week. Let's talk about tonight. It's the Arizona State Sun Devils versus Miami RedHawks. The Sun Devils are coming in with a season record of 2-4. Miami with an astonishing 6-0. Last matchup between these two was earlier this year, in January 31st and February 1st. It was a sweep from Arizona. Arizona winning 7-1 on the 31st and 4-1 on February 1st. Starting lineup for tonight: Coach Adelic, Ilya Morozov, Mateo Giampa. More about him later. For the forwards for Miami. Now for defense, we got Ryder Thompson and Micah Fillon. Goaltending in net tonight, Mateo Drobak. More about him later. For Arizona State forwards, Jack Beck, Colin Potter, Johnny Waldron, a former Red Hawk. And then for defense, Brayson Bozer, Anthony Dowd, and then in net, Connor Hasley. Notable players on both teams. Mateo Giampa has been killing it ever since joining the Redhawks this season. He's 10th in assists with 5, second in game-winning goals in 2, and second in goals per game with 5 goals in 5 games. Sean McGurn from Arizona is 8th in face-off percentage with 65%. Now, I always felt that face-offs were Miami's weak spot, especially last season. So this could be a notable challenge for Miami coming in tonight. Mateo Drobak in Miami is first in goalie game-winning percentage with 100%. Eighth points per game. Coach Adelic with 8 points. Mateo Giampa with 8. Ilya Morozov with 8. Now, Coach Adelic has started his career with a 6-point streak, including a goal and 4 straight conference contests from October 4th to October 24th. Delic posted a career best +4 rating in October 11th, earning NCHC Rookie of the Week for that week. Now, Coach Adelic has started his career with a 6-point game streak, including goal and straight 4 contests in October 4th through 24th. All right. Now for Ilya Morozov, the youngest player in college hockey and the youngest player to score a goal in Miami program history. At 17 years, 2 months, 7 days, he lit up a lamp on October 10th at RPI. Ryan Smith last week has been named NCHC Forward of the Week. He got a hat trick on Saturday, becoming the first Red Hawk since 2022 to record a hat trick, adding an assist and capping his night in style with the overtime game winner that gave Miami a 5-4 victory at Lindenwood. Smith became the first Miami player in 2 years to put up 4 points in a single game, matched his previous career in goals 3 through his first 39 appearances, and was named NCHC Forward of the Week. Now, Mateo Drobak has won 6 consecutive starts to begin his Miami career, becoming the first player in program history to do so. Now, for the press conference on earlier this week, Noreen said Miami's thing they learned from last weekend was, stay out of the box, which they successfully did on Saturday with 0 penalties coming from both sides of the ice. Ryan Smith worked hard, good start. Finally got rewarded with the goal, and Noreen appreciates what he does for the team. The key word Noreen brought up constantly during the press conference was tenacity. Miami has that tenacity, and they could extend their winning percentage later tonight. This has been Red Hawk Radio. You've been listening to Red Hawk Radio. I have been your host, William Salzarulo. Stay tuned. Puck drops in about 20 minutes.
Happy Halloween, everyone, from Goggin Ice Center, Steve Coach Cady Arena. My name is Jeff Middleton, alongside Aiden Sones on Red Hawk Radio as we get ready for Miami hockey against Arizona State, beginning conference play. Miami enters this game 6-0, one of the best starts in a long time for this program. And Miami fans starting to get excited about this new group. Obviously, lots of new names, lots of new faces, and they're making their impact early against non-conference teams. Their most recent couple of wins, their sweep against Lindenwood University, 2 overtime wins, Aiden. And, you know, we've talked about it before on this program, and head coach Anthony Norina's talked about it most of all. But the best part about this group for him is the fact that they've been able to kind of win in different ways, and we saw that last weekend. Obviously, 2 overtime victories, the first time in Miami hockey history that they've done that in one weekend. But obviously, you know, looking at the other end of the ice, Arizona State comes in having swept Miami last year, and the NCHC, as we know, is an extremely tough conference. So what does Miami have to do to kind of get their boots under them and, you know, move forward into conference play with confidence?
Yeah, honestly, this is one of the most important games all season, in my opinion. Yes, 6-0 is really impressive, but honestly, Arizona is probably the toughest opponent we've seen so far. One key to the game that I think that Miami needs to strive for is the face-offs. You know, you go to this team who has Logan Morrell and Sean McGurn, both who have 58.5% and 65.1% respectively on the face-off win percentage. So Miami just needs to bounce back in that category and just maintain the puck, because once they do, they have an amazing offense.
That's right. We have seen that offense. The Miami first line has been kind of the story so far for the RedHawks. Coach Adelic Ilya Morozov, the youngest player in college hockey, making his name known. And, of course, Mateo Giampa, the Canisius transfer. But we'll talk more about this Miami lineup after this break. We're going to go to PA and for the anthem on this Halloween night, Miami hockey here on Red Hawk Radio. Stay with us. So as we said earlier, Miami Hockey begins their NCHC play tonight against the Arizona State University Sun Devils, wearing their yellow uniforms, yellow helmets, yellow jerseys with red numbers, red names, red and white accents on the elbows and the bottom of the jersey, along with red pants and yellow socks with those same red and white accents. Miami in their home whites, white helmets, red shoulders, red across the elbows and the bottom of the jersey, red pants, white socks with those same red accents. Miami goes back to the well. Mateo Drobak, undefeated in the first 6 games of his collegiate career, 2.64 goals against average, .913 save percentage for the Oakville, Ontario native. And for Arizona State, it's Connor Hasley, the Bentley transfer, led the NCAA in shutouts last season for Bentley, almost won Bentley the game in their matchup postseason against Boston College, the then #1 ranked team in the country. This year, though, off to a little bit of a slow start, 1-3, 3.38 goals against average, but a solid .913 save percentage. Obviously, Arizona State began their season playing Gavin McKenna and the Penn State University Nittany Lions. They were swept in that series, came back and won 2 more games, but have been kind of faulty just to start. 2-4 record for an Arizona State team under head coach Greg Powers that has been really, really strong since joining this conference. As Miami goes with a first line of Kasper Nassen, Justin Stupka, and Doug Grimes. Usually their kind of identity line. And Arizona State starts Jack Beck, Cullen Potter, and former Miami forward Johnny Waldron, who makes his return to Coach Cady Arena tonight. The puck is down and we are underway. Arizona State moving left to right, Miami moving right to left in this first period. Arizona State dumps the puck in quickly as Doug Grimes makes a play on the far half wall, and Justin Stupka spins around, finds Kasper Nassen on the near side wing, and he moves it into the offensive zone. Nassen stops at the half wall on the dot, tries to play it middle for Grimes, but it kicks out to the left side, and Stupka's there to chase it. Stupka plays it down low where Doug Grimes will play against Richard Barron. And Arizona State's just going to dump it all the way down for the first icing of tonight's game.
Yeah, one difference I've noticed between this year's team compared to last, the team chemistry of this team, I've noticed, what is a lot different. The clubhouse culture is really getting better. I noticed that behind the back pass by Stupka just to Nassen, just the team chemistry is really good tonight.
Yeah, most of Anthony Noreen's talks. That's a big save by Hasley early. Giampa Morozov won the faceoff back. Giampa came into the faceoff circle and just ripped it on net. Hasley, a right-handed goalie, so he catches with his right hand instead of the kind of normal, quote-unquote, left-handed goalie, as Giampa makes a steal on the half wall, plays it for Morozov, fires just wide of the glove side of Hasley. Now it's McEwen behind the net. Plays it for Giampa. Giampa's crunched there by Barron. He'll play it low for Morozov before he's bodied off the puck by an Arizona State defender. Now McEwen pinches in behind the Arizona State net, and he holds, fires. That one's just wide from Max Helgeson, the Alaska Anchorage transfer. And Coach Adelic has to go back and retrieve the puck as it skittered all the way back into the Miami defensive zone. Max Helgeson will just dump it in right before he's checked by Anthony Dowd, defenseman for the Sun Devils. See him around the puck a lot as he quarterbacks the power play, for the Sun Devils, and is very involved in the offense. Currently 4 points in 6 games, as there's going to be a penalty on Arizona State. Here comes Ryan Smith down, and that one's fired right into the glove of Hasley. Smith coming off a hat trick against the Lindenwood Lions to help Miami to their 6th win of the season. First hat trick for Miami hockey since 2022. So the captain of the Sun Devils, Bennett Shimmick, is in the box. 2 minutes for tripping. Now Miami fans will get the chance to watch this first unit go to work. It'll be the 17-year-old Morozov, 9 points in his first 6 collegiate games. Same thing for Coach Adelic. Played for the Sudbury Wolves of the OHL, came in from the CHL after speaking with Anthony Noreen over the offseason, and has really made a mark. 5 goals, 4 assists for the Ottawa, Ontario native, as that one's won back. Now Ryder Thompson, center point, plays it over for Morozov. Far circle, that one's kicked away by Hasley. Morozov gets the rebound back and plays it back up to Ryder Thompson. Thompson plays center point. Now it's Morozov far side. Morozov circles in the dot, plays it up for Thompson. Thompson gives it to Delic. Big shot block there. That one is not able to get out for the Sun Devils. And now it's Morozov, plays it through the legs to Grimes, and quick passing from this Miami power play. Mateo Giappa plays it in front. Grimes scores! Doug Grimes bats the puck out of midair. Connor Hasley did not know where it was after it took a weird bounce, and he is fired up per usual. We know that Doug Grimes not afraid from showing his character, and that's a big goal for Miami early. 17:45 remaining in this first period, and the RedHawks take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Miami has a 22.2% chance of scoring on the power play, this being one of them, of course. And as I was saying earlier, the chemistry is on fire, essentially, in this game right now. A lot of short passes, but each pass ends up on another guy's stick.
Connection has been the biggest part of building this roster for Anthony Noreen as Miami goes back to work. It's Nicholas Mikan, the St. Thomas transfer in the far corner. He's checked there by Kyle Smolin, co-captain with Bennett Shimmick. And now it's David Deputy back from injury. Toe drag, that one is poked away by the defenseman Barron. Now it's McEwen near point. He fires that into some skates, and now Smolin will just make a play up, trying to find his line mate Noah Powell. But that one hits the skate of McEwen. Excuse me, that was Messenberg that was making the play back. And now Miami goes back to work. It's Deputy once again. Deputy, Miami hockey fans been paying attention, has been out for the last couple of weeks. He was week to week with an injury after sustaining a big hit against Ferris State, the first game of the season. So that was tough to see as first collegiate game, you go out with an injury, and it was in the second period of that game. So you can only make it halfway through your first career game, and all of a sudden you're on the IR, but good to see him back and healthy, and now trying to make an impact is now it's Stupka steals on the far point. Tries to play it middle for Helgeson, but that one was picked off in front by a Sun Devils defender. That was Justin Kipke, the Minnesota Wild draft pick. And now Stupka goes back to work in the near corner. Now it's Ryan Smith. The Quinnipiac transfer finds Grimes in the middle, but that one is just poked away by Sam Alfano. Sun Devils trying to gain some possession here. Lots of time early. That's a big hit by Nassen, and no call coming as the Sun Devils player was down. Not sure who that is in the corner. And another big hit late on Alfano, and that one's going to be a problem. Ryder Thompson went knee on knee with Alfano, and he is slow to get up. And Thompson is escorted to the box quickly. Miami's going to go on the penalty kill here. 15:51 remaining.
Yeah, a lot of physicality in this game so far. A lot of big hits. I know we talked about Casper Nassen along the boards on the offensive zone. Miami, average weight being 191 pounds this season. I know last season wasn't the best season for the RedHawks, and that really showed in terms of the weight and height category. A lot of our guys were on the smaller side of things. So just to see that we are top 20 in the league when it comes to weight is just shows the different type of play we're doing this season. A lot more physicality.
Yeah, head coach Anthony Noreen has talked about the physicality. He said that that's something that is a non-negotiable. They want to play as physical as possible, as fast as possible, and as connected as possible. We're seeing that early, but now Miami is down a man. Thompson goes to the box, 2 minutes for tripping. We'll see this Miami penalty kill for the first time. Face-off is won by Ethan Hay, but not cleared, as now it's Cruz Lucius on the near side. Lucius down to Kipke, or excuse me, that's Jack Beck. Now it's to Kipke up in the far point. Beck and Lucius play catch on the near half wall. But a good poke there by Stupka to force Cruz Lucius to exit the zone. Now Lukashevich will just hold and fire it out, and Arizona State will have to regroup. Kipke plays it back for Shimmick. Shimmick stick handles over the blue, dumps it back for Lucius, and he'll just fire it off the end boards, and it ends up back in the Sun Devils' possession, but not for too long as Kipke fumbles around with the puck. It hits his skate, and he's not able to keep the Puck in. 1:04 remaining on this penalty kill for the RedHawks. It's Shimmick once again. Possession entry. Gives it over to Lucius, but a big hit there by Morozov. Forces the puck off of his stick, and Delic will just flip that one out and down the ice. Second unit on now for the Sun Devils. 14:35 remaining in this first period. Moving forward is Anthony Dowd. Mentioned his name already. He's quarterbacking this second unit. Now it's Powell. He gets dumped there, but puck is just cleared out, barely. Dowd tried to keep it in, but Eric Frank was having none of that. He blows the play dead for offside with 31 seconds remaining in this first period. So neutral zone face-off. Miami leads 1-0. Arizona State has yet to register a shot on goal, but hard to do that when you've been playing in your own end. And these first 5 minutes, we've seen this before as well with Miami's series against Ferris State. Obviously, Ferris State, a tough opponent of their own. And Miami got off to good starts, but it kind of led to nothing through the middle periods. And for this Miami hockey team, they're trying to make sure that these efforts are consistent as now they break out 2-on-2. It's McEwen, plays it for Hay in the middle. Hay just loses possession, and now it's the Sun Devils the other way. And we're gonna get a trip, I believe, on Arizona State, and boy, Kyle Smolin does not like the call, made a diving motion towards the referee. So with 2 seconds left on this Arizona State power play, 2 seconds of 4-on-4 are coming, and then Miami will head back to the man advantage.
Yeah, that penalty was very crucial for the RedHawks. It looked to be a 2-on-1 scenario going the other way.
So effectively, good thing for Miami too, it's Ryder Thompson in the box, and he quarterbacks this first power play unit. So he'll just come out of the box and straight onto the ice as Coach Adelic plays a shot towards the net. That one's kicked away by Hasley, and now it's 5-on-4 for Miami, but that one's poked away by Arizona State. Here comes Bennett Shimmick, 1-on-1 with Mateo Droback. He fires, saved by Droback. Now Miami heads the other way. It's Coach Adelic through the neutral zone. Delic plays it forward, hits a man, and now Giampa goes and chases. Shellberg plays it with one hand over to Barron, and he'll just play it down all the way. Big shorthanded save by Mateo Droback to keep this a 1-0 game. Now it's Giampa, drops it off for Delic across the M. Miami's not able to hold the zone. Morozov pressured as soon as he got the puck, and second unit will come on for the RedHawks as Ryder Thompson just holds in the Miami zone. Now he plays it forward. It's Giampa. It's a nice stick handling move, and will use his legs now. It's Nassen. He'll just chip it off the wall and play it low. Boser's there. He'll just play it back to his partner on the penalty kill, and they'll go for a change. Second unit out, it's Michael Quinn. Quinn plays it middle for Smith. Now Nassen will stop and dump. Smith following up. Ethan Hayes to the puck now, and Quinn is able to kick it to himself, but he dumps it into nobody, and another kick by Quinn, but puck just came outside the blue line, and now it's Shimmick the other way once again. This time there are defenders there as Droback will just glove it down and play it out, and now Nassen heads 2-on-2 with Ethan Hay. Nassen plays middle. Now it's Hay. Smith makes a move around one, gives it over to Lukas Shevich. He holds. Smith fires. That one's just wide. A good passing play. Now it's Quinn center point. Penalty ending. That one's sticked away by Hasley. Lukas Shevich will play it backhand. Officially back at even strength now. Now it's Smith getting harassed in the corner, and he'll just play it low as this Miami second unit needs to go for a change. So does this Arizona State penalty kill. So after a couple of chances on the man advantage, Miami's still only up 1-0. A lot of offensive zone time here. Now it's David Deputy. Deputy across the blue. He's harassed by 2 Arizona State Sun Devils, gives it off for Messenberg, and he'll just wrap it around. McEwen's there to meet it. And now it's Mikan. Mikan flutters that one low, but the Sun Devils are there first, and they'll break out. Now Johnny Waldron, the former Red Hawk, plays it up for Noah Beck. Beck loses it, though. Nick Donato with a good stick play. And now Donato has it back. He plays it off the wall for Deputy, but that one just heads all the way down after a stick lift. No icing, though. Now it's Keene. Keene fires, but it misses the stick of Waldron, and the play will come back to the Miami offensive zone with 10:50 remaining in this first period.
I know earlier we talked about the Ferris State Bulldogs, the first opponent of the Miami RedHawks this season, and they're no laughing joke. They beat #1 Western Michigan by a score of 3-2. So the fact that Miami not only swept the Ferris State Bulldogs, it is no laughing matter. They have definitely proven themselves over their first 6 games.
Seeing it tonight is, obviously only halfway through this first period, a lot of hockey to be played, but have to like the game that Miami's playing right now as Cullen Potter is in for the Sun Devils. He finds Beck. Beck plays it across for Dowd. Now Dowd finds Kipke, and that one is saved by the pad of Droback. Good little passing play there from the Sun Devils, and Miami heads the other way. It's Giampa. Giampa pressured by Kipke. Kipke picks his pocket, and now it's Arizona State. Puck is dumped in, and Sean McEwen gets there, but Ben Keevan, New Jersey Devils prospect, is able to pry that out of the battle, and now it's Morozov. After the shot was blocked in front, Morozov has no help after taking a couple of checks, and now Dowd will just play it down low. No icing, though. So Droback is out to play it, and a good forecheck by Arizona State almost forces a turnover, but Grimes is able to protect it and bring it out. Grimes goes through the middle, fires. That one is sticked aside by Hasley. Rebound, sits in the skates of Barron, but no harm, no foul for Arizona State, as this line of Nassen, Grimes, and Stupka has been really strong through the first part of the season, and Grimes draws a penalty, or takes the penalty, excuse me. And he doesn't like the call either. So Miami will head back to the penalty kill. After last Saturday's game against Lindenwood, there were no penalties called on either team. We've seen plenty, 4 to be exact, through these first 10.5 minutes of this game, but a lot of action regardless. We will get more when we come back. You're listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. Back at Steve Coach Cady Arena here in Oxford, Ohio. Miami up 1-0, 9:29 left in this first period between Arizona State and the RedHawks. But the RedHawks find themselves down a man once again after Doug Grimes takes a tripping penalty. Arizona State power play will get back to work. Mikey Phelan will just throw the puck down after a clean face-off win in the defensive zone by Ethan Hay. And now it's Bennett Shimmick. Shimmick plays it over for Potter. Potter drafted in the first round by the Calgary Flames, one of the best, if not the best, skater in the NCAA. If you think you've seen fast, you have not watched Cullen Potter, as now Miami gets out on the shorthanded break. It's Stupka. He'll just fire that one towards the net. Try and waste some time. It was sticked aside by Cruz Lucius. Good defense there by the forward on the back check. Now it's Potter once more. Gains the zone and just throws it off the boards. That one slowly trickles around. Good keep by Cruz Lucius on the near side to give Arizona State a chance here. It's Potter on the far side now. Potter holds, gives down low to Shimmick. It's Kipke, fires that one wide. Rebound, Lucius, but that one's patted away by Drobak. Now Lucius back with it. Lucius near point, Kipke, far side Shimmick. Excuse me, that's Beck. Beck once more, plays it cross ice for Lucius. Lucius fires down low. Now it's Beck that plays across. Here's Potter with it. Lucius gives across to Beck, fires, scores! Really strong passing by the Sun Devils, and it's Bennett Shimmick on the far side. So after taking the penalty that gave the RedHawks the goal, Shimmick gets it right back on the power play for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, you know, both teams going back and forth, power play, penalty kill. It just tires out the RedHawks especially, and you can definitely see it there. They're just going back and forth. We were talking about this off the record, and we were just saying how tiring it can be just going from back and forth, going from one end of the ice to the other, and that definitely showed in this play.
Have a little scuffle here on the faceoff. It's Alfano and Mikan getting a little pushy behind linesman Eric Frank. Other linesman tonight is Brian Gorkoff, and your referees are Brian Hankes and Nolan Bloyer, getting very active early in this game. So the scoreboard is even 1-1. Shots are 4-4, and we have 7:50 remaining in this first period. A tight game, as expected, between these two clubs. Arizona State sends the puck all the way down for icing. So that was Shimmick from Lucius and Cullen Potter for their first goal of the game. Shimmick with his third goal of the season. Potter registers his 5th assist. Still no goals for him, and Cruz Lucius 6 goals on the season on only 1 assist, now make it 2 for the Pittsburgh Penguins draft pick and Wisconsin transfer. Keene plays it around. The Sun Devils will fire it down through neutral ice. Good catch there by David Nyes, the general manager of these Miami RedHawks, on the bench as the puck went out of play. So it'll be Potter against Morozov, two excellent young talents. I will say, Aiden, that for anyone who even is just a casual hockey fan, you don't have to be a diehard hockey fan to appreciate the kind of skill that you see in every NCHC matchup, of course, but this one here in Oxford is going to be exciting. Plenty of young talent, future NHL talent as well, is playing in this game, or in these two games, I should say. As Coach Adelic picks off a pass on the near side, moves it in the offensive zone, and he'll take it 1-on-2 by himself. Brings it around the zone on the far side now. We'll just dump it low and go for a change. Now it's Miami's line of Grimes, Stupka, and Nassen. Now Cullen Potter with it. That one's poked off his stick by Vladislav Lukashevich. And Miami heads the other way. It's Sean McEwen. McEwen, the freshman defender, plays it out wide for Stupka. That one's played towards the net. It hit off McEwen's skate, it looked like. Hasley had a little trouble with it. Now it's Lukashevich, fires that one, rebound, kicks out. That one shot by Stupka, deflected off the stick in front. Now Lukashevich tries to play it to Stupka once more, and instead misses him entirely, and it goes to the far corner. Arizona State comes out with it. Waldron makes a quick pass out to Jack Beck, and he'll just play it deep and go for a change as Kasper Nassen does the same. Now it's Lucius, plays a pass between his legs, gorgeous outlet as Sean McGurn moves forward. Now it's Shimmick, back to McGurn, fires, scores! So after an opening 10 minutes where Miami dominated play, Arizona State has scored 2 goals within an extremely short span, one on the power play, and this one from McGurn. A great outlet from Lucius between his legs. And a little give and go from McGurn and Shimmick to put the Sun Devils up 2-1.
Yeah, as soon as you see 2 Miami RedHawks covering one guy, you know that there is an issue. And that's exactly what happened here. They capitalized on that moment. You cannot just do that in NCAA.
Like I said, Miami was up early and things looked good. The puck movement was strong. Power play looks strong, and now everything has kind of turned around as the Sun Devils have really taken advantage of their opportunities, and now the RedHawks find themselves down. Now it's Smith, tries to play it middle. Helgeson with a nice pass. Now Hay fires, that one's gloved down by Hasley. Wasn't able to control it though. Thompson plays it towards the front of the net. Helgeson tried to get a stick on it, think he did, but it just went wide. Now the puck is being battled for in the far corner. Shimmick once more. It's a nice stick handling move. Really good hands early from Sun Devils co-captain. Now it's Brayson Bozer. He'll fire that one just wide, intentionally wide, to try and go get a change. It ends up taking a weird bounce off the end wall and right to Mateo Drobak, who covers, and we get our second and final media timeout of the period. So after being down 1-0, Arizona State finds themselves up 2-1 thanks to a power play goal. And the most recent goal by Sean McGurn, the other tally coming from Bennett Shimmick, the captain. We will be back for the final 5:06 in this first period. Listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. Back here at Goggin Ice Center, Jeff Middleton alongside Aiden Sones. As the score reads 2-1 in favor of the visiting Sun Devils, shot 6-5 in favor of the home team, the RedHawks. But it's been kind of a first period, Aiden, of back and forth play. Miami dominating kind of the first half. Arizona State, I don't know about dominating currently, but when you give them power plays with as talented of a team they are, they're going to use that to their advantage. And you know, one mistake by Miami defensemen and you get a 2-on-1 with 2 players that are absolutely capable of doing that. This Arizona State team is full of them. As that one is fired by Kipke, Drobak did not see that one, and it hit the crossbar and went out of play. Drobak sat in the butterfly and just, I mean, he could not see that puck at all.
Well, when you have a team that fully consists of sharp shooters like the Arizona State Sun Devils, it is kind of tough to see who has possession of the puck when it's coming right at you.
Likely a screen in front as well. Kipke, kind of a sneaky player, freshman out of Calgary, Alberta. Not only is he tall and just a big body on the blue line, 6'4", 217, but he is extremely talented out of Victoria in the WHL. Played with guys like Keaton Verhoff, the projected number 2 overall pick behind Gavin McKenna, currently of the North Dakota Fighting Hawks, and Cole Reshny, also of the North Dakota Fighting Hawks and a Calgary Flames draft pick. Him and Cullen Potter have done a training camp together. So he knows NCHC talent well, and 3 points in 6 games this year so far for him. Is really a good start to his collegiate career. Sean McEwen fires that one wide of the blocker side or glove side of Hasley. Miami tries to get something going here in the offensive zone with their first line. Mateo Giampa is high sticked in the corner, and we're going to get a penalty here. Not often do you see high sticks in college, but that one was about as blatant as you can get.
Yeah, his helmet almost fell completely off from that high stick.
Yeah, and obviously there are high sticks, of course, but with the cages and the bubbles, you don't usually see the, you don't need the double minor or anything like that. And, like you said, Aiden, his helmet almost came all the way off. That was pretty blatant. It'll be Sam Court who goes to the box. Justin Kipke's defense partner, and Miami returns to the power play looking to tie this game up. It'll be their 3rd attempt already this game, so making up for lost time after last weekend at Lindenwood. Ethan Hayes kicked out of the box. It's Ryan Smith now in. Like I mentioned, Smith had a hat trick against Lindenwood in their Saturday game. Helped the RedHawks to their 3rd sweep of the season. Now Nassen fires that one right into the pads of Hasley, and Hasley is probably one of my favorite goalies to watch in all of college hockey, mainly just because not only is he obviously very good at what he does, but just the way he moves, like he moved on that one-timer, very, very agile goaltender, and gotta love a right-handed goalie too, of course.
Yeah, he's a very fluid goaltender, saving a lot of shots that could definitely go in, especially with Casper Nassen having one of the best slap shots in the entire NCHC.
Yep. Heard head coach Anthony Noreen talk all about that slap shot, said it's one of the best that he's ever seen, not even just in college, but professionally, juniors, any hockey that he has coached or seen. It's a pretty spectacular shot. Let's just say I don't want to get in front of it at all, and I don't envy anybody that does get in front of it. So stick taps to them, but Nassen not able to use his one-timer off the draw as Arizona State won it clean and played it down. And now the RedHawks will enter the zone once more. It's Nassen. He'll backhand it all the way around, and Lukashevich is there to meet it, but a good play along the wall by Logan Morrell. Just kind of screened off the potential dump in and sent the puck back out to neutral ice. Miami enters the zone once more. It's Nassen up to Quinn center point. Quinn back to Nassen, holds. Now Nassen plays a little catch with Smith. Back to Quinn. Now Nassen fires that one into the chest of Hasley. And it's quickly cleared by the Sun Devils. Drobak's out to play it as Shimmick lightly pressures the play down the ice. And Drobak kind of hesitated for a moment. Threw it to nobody. Nassen had to come back before going off for a change. And now the first unit for Miami is on with 42 seconds left in this power play. 2-1, still our score. 3 minutes exactly remaining in this first period. Doug Grimes with the puck in the near left corner. Now it's Ryder Thompson at the point. Delic down low. Now Thompson breaks his stick on the one-timer. He'll have to go get help. Morozov's just going to dump it low, and now Giampa will have to hold the puck as Grimes plays it back. Thompson has a new twig, but he's just a moment too late. But Giampa makes a play on the puck, and now it's Delic at the near side. Penalty coming to an end. 5 seconds remaining. Barron's just going to play it all the way around, and we're back at even strength with 2:22 remaining in the first. It's McEwen now, looking up ice. He'll fire it right towards the stick of Grimes, and he'll just tap that one down low, but here comes Arizona State. Cullen Potter has to stop. Nicholas Mikan was on his way to deliver a huge hit, and Potter just kind of stopped right in front of him. Turnover, now it's Mikan once more. Big save by Hasley in front. Mikan was left all alone, and Hasley got all the way over on the cross-ice pass. Now it's Waldron the other way, plays it in front for Cullen Potter. Good play there by Phelan, though, to disrupt the pass. Now it's Kipke. Kipke fires that one into the shin pads of Mikan. He's hurt, not able to get to the loose puck, and now it's Waldron plays it down low for Potter. Potter turns that puck over, though. It's Max Helgeson, but he has his pocket picked by Jack Beck, and here comes Potter again. Potter holds, fires, that one's patted away by Drobak. Now it's Kipke. Kipke fires that one, hits off a defender and moves wide. He fans on a one-timer, and Phelan isn't able to get it out of the zone. Cross-ice play from Kipke. Now it's Waldron. Waldron stick handles around one, loses the puck. Tried to make a backhand move, but just lost the handle. 1:07 remaining in this first period. Waldron pressured by 2 RedHawks. Helgeson's able to chip it out. And Arizona State keeps up the pressure. It's Bozer. Play in front, behind the back pass. What a save from Droback. My goodness, offense developing super quickly. Brayson Bozer just brought it all the way around the zone and found himself completely alone in front. Made a nice between the legs pass to his teammate. Couldn't see who that was, but Droback made a huge right pad save. Now it's Stupka. Plays it back for Nassen. Nassen will just play it off the wall in front of the benches, and Arizona State comes the other way. Shimmick goes across to McGurn, back to Shimmick. These two, great chemistry here. Lucius holds, fires. That one's deflected off the stick of Vladislav Lukashevich, the Michigan State transfer for the RedHawks. And wow, a flurry of chances for both sides. Arizona State with the most recent ones, 12.8 seconds remaining in this first period.
Yeah, it seems like Arizona State's mentality when on the defense is just to block as many shots as they can. They already have 7 block shots in the first period compared to Miami's 2.
ASU kind of felt like a team that's always been pretty good at blocking shots. Not afraid to put their body in front of the vulcanized rubber. Ilya Morozov wins the defensive zone draw clean. Now it's Lukashevich. He'll just chip that one out, and now it's Mateo Giampa with 5 seconds left on the clock. He tried to make a play to his teammate. I believe that was Delic moving down the middle, but wasn't able to do that. Trying to see what the call is. Yeah, I believe that the buzzer did go off to end the period, but Eric Frank blew the whistle with about 0.7 seconds left, or 0.8 seconds left. They just put it on the screen. So while the Miami band plays, the men on the ice are waiting to line up for a face-off.
Oh, and now...
And I believe that, yes, that's figured that might happen. Mateo Droback is on the bench. Anthony Noreen pulls his goalie in hopes of getting one last offensive chance with 0.8 seconds left in the first. Morozov tries to play it forward, but wasn't able to do so, and Ryder Thompson got to the puck, but it was blocked in front by Arizona State, so add that to their tally, and the two teams will head to their respective locker rooms.
Yeah, overall, it was a great period for Miami. For the first game in the NCHC, for a lot of these newcomers, they definitely showed up, and they definitely proved that they belong in this league.
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest difference is not only was 3 series ago these a lot of players' first college hockey games, but this is a lot of these guys' first, experience with NCHC play, with conference play, and you see kind of the physicality ramp up. You see just how much it's going to take to win conference games, and after the first goal, you see that Miami is generating momentum. They're generating chances. Obviously kind of fell off towards the middle of the period, back end of the period. Arizona State not going to stay down, of course, as we know how talented they are. But regardless, I believe Miami put up a good fight in that first 10 minutes. You just kind of want to clean up the rest of the period performance. And maybe, obviously shots are 9-9, and the difference is a mistake on a breakout. But conference play is going to do that to you. NCHC teams will do that to you. If you make mistakes, it's going to be costly. And these Miami newcomers just learned a valuable lesson. Regardless, though, score is 2-1 in favor of the visiting Arizona State. Will Salzarulo will have your intermission report, and we will have the second period when we come back. Listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio.
You're listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. I'm your host, William Salzarulo, and this is your first intermission of the night. Now, goals in the first period. The first goal was by Doug Grimes from Miami. It was a power play goal. He was assisted by Mateo Giampa and Coach Adelic. ASU answered shortly with Bennett Schmeich. It was a power play goal with Cruz Lucius and Colin Potter. ASU answered the call again with Sean McGurn at even strength, assisted by Bennett Schmeich and Lucius Cruz. There were 5 penalties in the first period, 2 by Miami, 3 by ASU. Not many shots on net, with 9 for Miami, with ASU with 8. I feel like ASU had a lot of possession. They both had possession of the puck, but I felt like ASU, they were pushing harder than Miami was, so they ended up getting the first period with 2 for ASU, 1 for Miami. Now, you'll be hearing from Jeff Middleton and Aiden Sones for the second intermission, play-by-play and color commentary. I've been Will Salzarulo, your host for the first intermission matchup. You're listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio.
Back here in Steve Coach Cady Arena, my name is Jeff Middleton alongside Aiden Sones as we get set for the middle frame of this Halloween edition of Miami Hockey. Score currently 2-1 in favor of the Arizona State Sun Devils. And Aiden, as we talked about before the intermission, Miami dominated those first 10 minutes, really found their stride offensively. Could see the connection building, could see these passes just going tape to tape, and then it maybe not fell apart, but it really kind of leaned back over toward the visiting side, and Arizona State obviously got some momentum from a couple power plays, including a goal from Bennett Shimmick, and then their second goal, obviously, you know, a really good play that Sean McGurn was able to convert on, a good outlet from Cruz Lucius, and Arizona State finds themselves up coming into this period.
Yeah, one thing that really stood out to me is when you look at just shots, Miami's winning that category 23-15. So as long as we can lay out those bodies on blocking their shots, it should be a very even matchup.
Yeah, shots currently in favor. It was 9-9 before the intermission, but it looks like that's been amended to 9-8 in favor of Miami. As we get underway, Arizona State moving from right to left and Miami moving from left to right in the second period as Johnny Waldron is hit hard by Justin Stupka, loses the puck for a moment, and Cullen Potter will just bring it out to neutral ice, play it low for Jack Beck, and he'll circle it around. Mateo Droback plays it towards the near corner to the defender. I believe it was Mikey Phelan. It was picked off for a moment by Potter, but Miami regains possession. Now it's Stupka, far half wall. Now Phelan goes over to collect, and he'll just bring it through neutral ice, try and play it through a defender to Nassen, but now it's Beck. He fires, that one's blockered away by Droback. Again, quick developing offense for the Sun Devils, and now it's the RedHawks the other way. Stupka will just fire that one towards the net. It goes wide of the blocker side, or glove side of Connor Hasley. Still getting used to that right hand. That one's played in front. Grimes has a chance for a second goal of the game. But a big save by Hasley moving left to right. Once again, see that mobility on display. One of the most agile defenders in all of goalies, in all of college hockey. Anthony Dowd plays it to his partner Bozer, and now it's Bennett Shimmick in front of the Miami bench. He's hit hard. Now puck goes into the Miami offensive zone. Giampa plays it towards Morozov, but it goes through his legs, and now Morozov will just collect a neutral ice and play it low. Dowd gives chase with Morozov hard on his back, and puck is pinned along the wall for a moment, but a failed clear attempt. Delic will just spin and fire that one off the shin pad of a defender, and Miami regains possession. It's Mateo Giampa holding, wrapping it around. It hits the skate of a referee, and I believe Miami's going to go to the box here for a cross-check in front. It'll be Ilya Morozov who heads to the box, and that was a weird call as the puck immediately hit the ref and he put his hand up. Doug Grimes arguing it in front of the penalty box. But I don't believe that that's going to change anything, as it never does.
A lot of controversial calls this game. A lot of players arguing naturally they'll stick up for their own teammates, but
of course,
a lot of passion in today's game.
First conference game of the year for both of these programs, so obviously playing with a little fire, and Miami playing with some fire right now is the youngest player in college hockey. Ilya Morozov will sit for 2 minutes. First unit out for Arizona State. Potter ties the face-off up, but Stupka comes in for reinforcements and will just send it all the way down to begin this man advantage for Arizona State. Shimmick and Lucius play catch entering the zone. Lucius will just fire it down. Thompson gets there first, and the puck is poked out towards neutral ice. A good diving play there by Jack Beck to make sure that Miami didn't get a 2-on-1 shorthanded rush. The Miami penalty killers will go for a change. Kipke plays it back for Potter, and Potter immediately plays a quick up to Beck. Beck will fire intentionally wide. Lucius is there first, but it pokes right to Lukashevich, and he'll just send it all the way down. 1:10 remaining on this Miami penalty kill. 1 for 2 so far tonight is the Arizona State power play. This is their third opportunity, and now streaking in, that's Noah Powell, and now David Deputy comes the other way for Miami. Deputy holds, and he'll just play it back to his defenseman, Sean McEwen. A good, smart play for the RedHawks penalty killers. 43 seconds remaining on this Arizona State man advantage, and not really anything going for them as of now. It was just kind of a good chance by Powell to maybe generate some offense, but a good defensive play by the RedHawks, and Arizona State kind of looking for that first little bit of possession time, and they might get it here as Dowd keeps the puck in at the far point. Now it's Smolin, back up to Dowd. Puck is bouncing along the boards, and now it's Dowd once again. Now Smolin down low. Powell tries to play it up, but Dowd was not there, and it's going to be sent all the way down as Miami will get back to even strength. They are 2 for 3 on the penalty kill tonight. Penalty kill was 14 for 20 and even 70% coming into tonight's match. And Arizona State was at a 79% rate, going 19 for 24 in their first 6 games of the season. Arizona State once again back on the attack. It's Sam Alfano. He plays that one out in front. Good defensive play by Morozov, and we're going to get a penalty here on Arizona State. So Miami kills a penalty, and they draw another. Lots of man advantage play for both teams tonight as Miami will go to the power play for the 4th time with 15:29 remaining in the second period.
Yeah, Arizona State has this type of mentality, go big or go home. They've given up the 2nd most shorthanded goals in college hockey this season with 3, but it's also in the top 3rd in power play. So all their moves are very grand. They're pushing their forwards and their defensemen up into the crease, and it is great that Miami killed off that power play.
The first unit's out for Anthony Noreen's RedHawks, but not able to get a face-off win, and that one's sent all the way down by the Sun Devils. Thompson back behind his net to pick it up. Drops it back for Giampa. Giampa plays it up for Delic. And Miami's going to take a penalty immediately, as that's going to be interference in the middle of the ice on Ryder Thompson. Looked like they just kind of ran into each other. I have to look back at the replay here, but Giampa obviously the RedHawks not happy with that call. Yeah, but it's going to be interference in the middle of the ice. Saw that play happen. We'll see on the replay if it, obviously not intentional. You're never trying to take an interference penalty, but if he really did kind of get in the way of the penalty killer, I believe that was Smolin. As we wait for this replay. Smolin just kind of backed into him, and Thompson threw his hands up immediately because, not really anything you can do about that except get out of the way. But Thompson trying to maybe lay a little screen and gets put in the box for 2 because Smolin ended up falling over, didn't know he was there, and now we've got 4-on-4 hockey. Here comes Cullen Potter. Potter using his wheels, enters the Miami zone. Nice move around 1, nice move around 2. Good defense by Lukashevich, though, to body him off from the puck. There's that skill from Potter that we know is there, and with all this space on the ice, the extra space having 4-on-4, it's going to be present. Now it's Jack Beck. Beck holds, fires, that one's blockered away by Droback. Now it's Michael Phelan. Phelan pressured hard by Beck. He'll just slowly rim it around to Lukashevich. And he will bring it up ice. A good long stretch pass from Lukashevich, and Smith was just offside. My goodness, Smith was going to have one man to beat, had possession of the puck, and that was a tight offside.
Yeah, you could definitely tell Miami needing that next goal. I see that they're tending to do just one small mistake from a perfect play.
We've seen those Lukashevich stretch passes multiple times throughout this already young season, and even in that first series against Ferris State, had a gorgeous pass, probably 180 feet to Mateo Giampa that resulted in a goal, and that one could have resulted in 1-2 had it not been blown offside. It was really close at the line, and we know how stingy these NCHC linesmen are. for good reason. Eric Frank was not going to have any of that, and he blew the play dead. Nonetheless, 4-on-4 continuing for another 25 seconds as it's Smith once more, tries to make a move around Kipke, but Kipke is able to bat the puck out of midair and just kind of play it down towards the Miami zone. Donato plays it over for Smith. Smith all around the puck as of late, clearly getting very comfortable here at Miami after transferring in from Quinnipiac. So Sean McGurn is out of the box, and Arizona State will have an abbreviated power play, 15 seconds to be exact, as Johnny Waldron plays it for McGurn. McGurn plays it towards the crease, and a big save by Drobak.
Going almost completely out of the crease for that save. He definitely laid out for that one.
Ended up sitting on that puck. Good play from Johnny Waldron just to find the open man. McGurn heading to the net, and obviously unable to take advantage of that chance, but if you're Miami, you got to make sure that you're not giving up that much open ice in front of your net. Nonetheless, an offensive zone draw for the Sun Devils. Ethan Hay once more to take it. He's been Anthony Noreen's faceoff guy in pretty much every situation. Probably their strongest player in the dot outside of maybe Blake Messenberg, but I haven't seen him much tonight as that fourth line is not getting a lot of playing time. And big save by Drobak, and here comes Ryder Thompson out of the box. Thompson shoots that one, saved by Hasley. A big pad save by the Arizona State netminder to keep this game 2-1. And another great stretch pass by the Miami defense. It just didn't result in a goal. And if you're Miami, those are the kind of chances that you really need to take advantage of. Obviously, plenty of time left in this game to make something happen, but against conference opponents, you begin to realize just how much, or excuse me, how little chances you're going to get throughout a game, and you really got to take advantage when you can. It was Justin Stupka, I believe, who sent that puck all the way down. Stupka's been fantastic since joining the RedHawks. Obviously, the freshman on the line of Doug Grimes and Casper Nossen. As Mateo Drobak makes the glove save, but yeah, Stupka 6 points in 6 games played as a freshman, 6'2", 205 pounds, so he fits right in with the 6'3", 215-pound Grimes and 6'4", 215-pound Nossen. So after Miami gets a chance on a breakaway from Ryder Thompson, unable to convert thanks to a big stop by Connor Hasley, the score remains 2-1 here at Goggin Ice Center. We've hit our first media timeout. We'll be right back with you after this break. You're listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. Back here at Goggin Ice Center, Steve Coach Cady Arena. Miami finds themselves down 2-1. As Newton the dog gets cheers from the student crowd here at Goggin Ice Center. And of course the Arizona State Sun Devils getting boos as they flip back and forth. Newton the dog donning his best referee fit. There is a stormtrooper behind him, loving the costumes tonight. See plenty of dinosaur onesies. Of course, Buddy the Elf is here, naturally, as play gets back underway. Miami plays it out in front. Mikey Phelan gets the rebound, and that's poked away. Here comes Alfano. Able to play it towards the middle, or excuse me, that was Ben Keevan. A good defensive play. Giampa tries to get there, and there's bodies all over the place in front of the Arizona State bench. Still in the offensive zone are the Sun Devils. Puck now rolls its way out. And the battle ensues in front of the bench now. Now it's Giampa, comes out with it. Holds across the blue line, waiting for some help. He'll just dump it in off the end wall. Coach Adelic makes his way around, and we'll just go for a change after pressuring the puck handler. That was Kipke. Now it's Bozer. He'll take it across the red and just fire it in. There to meet it's Logan Morrell. Plays it down low. Now he gets it back in front and unable to get a handle on it. Bozer plays it to him, and Morrell makes a nice pass up towards the point, but Alfano was not able to control it. Now he is. Plays it across for Dowd, who slips and falls. Gets a little cheer from the crowd. He gets the puck back nonetheless. He plays it towards the net, hits a body in front, and that one was in possession of Helgeson. Alfano kind of got a stick to it and ended up right in the glove of Mateo Drobak.
Yeah, we talked about Newton, the Stormtrooper. Everyone's wearing costumes tonight. Again, it's Halloween, but no Miami win has happened at the Goggin Ice Center on Halloween night.
Obviously looking to change that. Maybe it's the green men in the corner, hopefully bringing the good vibes. I really do like the Stormtrooper outfit. I'm very impressed. I love that it's just one person it's just one Stormtrooper. There's not a group of them. He's just sitting still. He has not moved. And and Boba Fett's behind him, if anybody else is wondering. That's a nice touch.
You also see a lot of people wearing the black and white stripes, symbolizing a referee.
Of course. Have to. There's even an Eric Frank jersey. He has a fan club here in Oxford, and hopefully he sees them before, or saw them before the game, or sees them after, because that's pretty great. RedHawks will just dump it in. Sticked out of the air by Shellberg. He'll play it back to his partner, Barron. Now the rush gets underway. Waldron hit in front of his bench, able to maintain possession of the puck, though, as I believe that was Charlie Michaud that was kind of laying off the pressure after the big hit, but nonetheless, Miami's able to get it back to neutral ice. Nasson will dump it in. Stupka goes in on the forecheck while his line mates change, and he's going to go for one as well after laying a little bit of a hit on the Arizona State defenseman. Here comes Cullen Potter, fires that one sticked aside by Mikey Phelan. Now Ryder Thompson plays it up for David Deputy. Back to Nasson. Nasson brings it across the blue. We'll just throw it down low, and he's going to go for a change as Deputy forechecks. Now Jack Beck gives it up for Potter once more. Potter plays it off the wall, back for Beck. Beck spins, gives middle for Court, I believe. Yes, that was Court who fires, and that one's saved by Drobak. Court came flying in, didn't even see him in the zone as Shimmick makes a play towards the net. Big shot blocked by Ryder Thompson. Yeah, once again, quick developing there. Court just kind of came out of nowhere and pinched, as now Lucius plays it over for Kipke. Now it's Lucius' back door, but not able to get the puck into the net. He was kind of on a weird angle, as now it's Arizona State peppering, and Miami's just going to have to clear it out. A big kind of goal line stand by Mateo Drobak in the Miami defense. A lot going on at one time. McGurn played it in front, and Lucius was there on the back door, but yeah, not sure if he was just kind of at a weird angle, but the puck deflected just off the outside of the net, and then he couldn't get the rebound back in as Drobak was there to hold the line.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the Miami defenders were confused even where the puck was. So good thing Drobak was there to stop all of them.
Arizona State wins the face-off back, but out of the zone as Keevan will just play it down low, and Smolin's there to chase. Overskates the puck, though. But Arizona State maintains possession. Bozer fires right into the glove of Drobak.
Yeah, one thing that's Arizona State's specialty is setting the screen. So good thing that Drobak managed to see the puck on that play.
So despite coming into this period with shots being 9-8 in favor of Miami, shots are now 19-11 in favor of the Sun Devils. They have been absolutely peppering the Miami net here in this middle frame. 8:23 remaining in the second period. Score still 2-1 in favor of the Sun Devils. Miami looking for a little spark here, as they might get it as Coach Adelik comes in, makes a move around one, but a good check by Anthony Dowd to push Delic away from the puck on his semi-break. Now it's Powell. Powell tries to make a move around McEwen, but he was having none of that. Gets the skate in the way, and puck ends up back in Miami's possession. It's Lukashevich behind his net, as Powell was really hammering pressure on there, Lukashevich, but the young Russian was not deterred and able to make a good play, as now it's Miami in the offensive zone. Stupka tries to make a play to himself, but unable to do so, as two Arizona State defenders were right there with him. Good hit there by Stupka on the back check, and now Miami has it going the other way. Quinn plays it quickly out to Grimes, but he turns the puck over, and now it's Morrell. Morrell to Alfano. Now it's Morrell once more, trying to find Ty Nash in the middle of the ice, but unable to connect. An outlet pass off the skate of Nassen sends the puck all the way down to the Arizona State end. And it's Richard Barron playing catch with his partner Shelberg. Puck kind of bouncing around in the neutral zone right now, as Michaud is going to play it back, and Miami's going to get a power play here. Not sure what happened, but there was a play in front of the Arizona State bench. We're going to get our call here. So we got a rough on Sam Alfano, excuse me. So Miami will head to its fifth power play of the game. Still 6:40 remaining in the second period, and we've got a media timeout. So we will be back with you for the Miami Man Advantage after this break. You're listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. Back at Steve Coach Cady Arena, Miami heads to the power play down 2-1 against the Arizona State Sun Devils. William Morozov will take the face-off for the RedHawks. Puck is tied up, and Hasley's just going to poke it to Shimmick, and Shimmick will just backhand it all the way down the ice. Now it's Thompson. To get this Miami rush started. Remember, he was whistled for an interference penalty after kind of just standing in the middle of the ice, and Kyle Smolin ran into him on the power play, so an abbreviated man advantage for the RedHawks on their 4th power play, and now they get a chance for their 5th. Morozov plays it back for Thompson. Hard forecheck there by Shimmick. Now it's Giampa. He fans on the pass, and Ty Nash trying to get around Thompson, but unable to do so. Puck is quickly played back down by the Sun Devils. That's Shellberg. Now Thompson holds as Miami will get a change. 1:02 remaining on this Miami power play. Not really anything going for them yet. As Smith carries into the zone, it's Lukashevich now. Now Smith once more. Smith plays it out in front for Nossen. Nossen holds, fires off the post. Now it's Quinn. Quinn down for Hay, now Smith. Smith plays it out front, but that's sticked away by Shellberg. A really big breakup of the pass. Otherwise, that would have been either on the stick of Nossen in the slot or Ethan Hay in the slot, and both of those guys are obviously threatening. Smith will just chip it forward for Lukashevich on the entry now. Man falls down. Now it's Quinn over to Nossen. One-timer. That one's blocked. Lukashevich with it now on the half wall. Shevich up to Quinn. Now Nossen fakes the one-timer, holds back to Quinn. Quinn holds down for Lukashevich. Lukashevich up to Quinn. Fires that one into the chest of Hasley. A screen in front, and Hasley makes a big stop with 11 seconds remaining on the power play. That first unit not really able to get anything done for the RedHawks, but the second unit comes out, gets a couple of good chances.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that the momentum has changed during this power play. A lot more connected passes than previous passes in this period. Shots on goal are still 11-3 this period. So Blake Messenberg, the 4th line for Miami, is going to come out and take this offensive zone draw with 11 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Messenberg is kicked out of the face-off circle, doesn't like it. Mikan unable to win the draw against McGurn, and Arizona State's going to kill off the rest of this penalty. It's Shimmick, and he just sends it all the way down, where McEwen retrieves. 4:40 remaining in the second period. Now it's Messenberg. Mikan takes a big hit there from Barron. He gets right back up to his feet, though, and now it's Cruz Lucius the other way. Lucius makes a nice move around Phelan. Tries to retrieve the puck, and Phelan could have taken an interference penalty there. McGurn is not happy. Lucky that he didn't, as it was pretty blatant, but no call coming. Now it's Deputy down low. Deputy against Kipke. Kipke wins that battle, plays it around, and now it's Shimmick. Shimmick will just play it low and go for a change as Nick Donato's there to retrieve. Donato plays it up for Messenberg, who loses the puck in his skates and turns it over to Smolin. Now it's Smolin once more, back and fires right into the chest of Droback. Arizona State coming right back in the zone after the turnover and not afraid to shoot the puck off the rush. Yeah, one thing that caught my eye, in the first period, Miami did win the faceoff category 14-6. Second period, however, it's 9-3 Arizona State. So you could definitely see that Arizona concentrated on the faceoffs this period.
You just see how big faceoff wins are, as there is another one, and that leads right to a shot by Powell. The faceoffs, especially, obviously, I mean, in both zones, are extremely important, and Miami has struggled with faceoffs so far this season at times, and there's a win, and that just, if you can get clean wins in the offensive or defensive zones, it just makes all the difference in generating chances and preventing them as well, as Arizona State's just going to come out the other way. It's Keevan. Keevan makes a nice move around Quinn. Keevan holds, plays it in front, but Smolin was not able to get a stick on it. Now it's Grimes. Grimes takes the hit, but makes the play and just dumps the puck in low, and Nossen's there to retrieve, not before Court is able to pick his pocket. He makes a nice play out to Keevan, and Keevan will just backhand it in, where Michaud's there to play it to his partner, Quinn. Charlie Michaud played 2 games so far this season. In for the injured Kyle Aucoin, transfer from Harvard. Now it's Beck. Beck up to Potter. Arizona State crosses the zone line, and now it's Waldron. Tries to play it in front. Beck tries to play it in front for Potter. Unable to connect, and now Beck has it back behind the goal. Short rim around, and Smith is there to meet it for Miami. Now it's Potter again. Beck rims it around. Potter's there again, as you can just see how important skating is for his game and how much it helps this Arizona State team maintain the zone on offense. As now it's Max Helgeson the other way, just out of his reach though. Tried to play the puck to himself, but unable to do so. 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the second period. Sun Devils are still up 2-1. Shots are 21-12 in favor of the visitors, as now it's Mikey Phelan through the neutral zone. Plays it up for Delic, a good play in the neutral zone by Ty Nash with the stick, and it disrupts the outlet. And now Shellberg plays it up for Nash himself, and here comes Logan Morrell. Morrell drops it off for Barron, tries to play it in front, but puck did not get through, and now it's 2-on-2 the other way, Delic. Delic holds, fires that one, but just wide. Morozov's there to pick up the rebound behind the net. Morozov stops and falls, so he turns the puck over, and now he retrieves it back as Ty Nash gave the puck up. Puck bounces off the end wall right in front of the net. Hasley had no idea where it was, and now Giampa's back with it. Giampa tries to play it through the legs of a defender. Now Morozov with it, 1:10 remaining in this period. Morozov not able to get the puck all the way up to the point for Lukashevich, and the puck is then pushed out to the neutral zone. Miami will have to regroup. Nassen plays it one-handed low to Grimes. Now it's Arizona State with Barron. He tries to rim it around for some help by Nash, but unable to do so momentarily before Morrell is able to cleanly break the puck out and go for a change after being hemmed in their zone for a while. Grimes spins and throws it down low. Hasley's out to play it. Court makes a move around Nassen and just plays it around for Bozer, who slap passes it off the boards, and here comes Arizona State. McGurn plays it hard and deep. Drove back, fans on the play, but puck ends up out in the neutral zone after a little bit of a wobbly puck to the net. 15 seconds remaining in the second period. It's Lucius. Lucius stutter steps around Donato. Michaud comes in and helps. With 6 seconds remaining, Grimes has his stick tied up. Fans wanted to call, but nothing really there other than a good stick play by Lucius. And time expires on the second period with Arizona State still up 2-1.
Yeah, you definitely saw Miami's defensive game really shine here. No goals allowed by the RedHawks.
So really, maybe not a fast period, but fast certainly in terms of how chances were developing, but also not really a lot of breaks or anything in the action. Kind of a back and forth, and less, swinging one way, swinging the other way. Like you said, Aiden, no goals in that second period for either squad. And we go to the final 20 minutes with the same score that we saw heading into the middle frame. Obviously, shots very different, 22-13 in favor of the Sun Devils, clearly making their presence known and trying to get a win in the first conference game of the season for both of these teams. So when we come back, Will Salzarulo will have your intermission report, and we'll have the final 20 minutes here from Goggin Ice Center. You're listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio.
You're listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. I'm your host, Salzarulo, and this is the second intermission overview. There were no goals this period. There were 4 penalties, 2 by Miami, 2 by ASU. Miami with 13 shots on net, and ASU with an astounding 22, which is a 13 goal shot increase from last period. In conclusion, Miami with 1 goal, ASU with 2, and other out in the NCHC, Western Michigan is at St. Cloud. It's 2-0 in favor of Michigan. You've been listening to the intermission report. Now bouncing it over to Jeff Middleton and Aiden Sones with the third period report. This has been Will Salzarulo, and you're listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio.
Back here at Goggin Ice Center for the third and final period of regulation between the Miami RedHawks and the Arizona State University Sun Devils. My name's Jeff Middleton alongside Aiden Sones. Scores 2-1 in favor of the visiting Sun Devils. Goals from Shimmick and McGurn. Miami goal scored by Doug Grimes. All 3 goals scored in that first period. Aiden, nothing in the second like we talked about. Shots really heavily in favor of Arizona State as they kind of dominated throughout that period. You know, a couple of power plays. Miami got maybe 1 or 2 shots on net, but nothing too significant. Looking to change that here in this final frame.
Right. Towards the end of the second period, though, it did look like Miami started to regain that momentum on that power play. So only time will tell to see if that momentum carries on to the third period.
Miami in their home whites. Arizona State in their yellow uniforms. See them wear black usually here at Miami, but changing it up a bit. I kind of like the yellows. Mentioned this before the game started, but the yellows are really nice. Devils across the front in maroon text with numbers on the front as well as we get underway. ASU moving left to right, Miami moving right to left. Thank you for joining us for these final 20 minutes. Hoping this one lives up to all of the hype that it had coming in as this first conference game on Halloween night continues. Arizona State gets early action in the offensive zone. Shellberg holds the line just barely. Beck fires. That one's blocked by the upper body of Ryder Thompson. And Miami is just going to dump it back out to neutral ice. Waldron will play it back in for Arizona State, and here comes Cullen Potter. Potter turns the puck over, but McEwen turns the puck back over to Arizona State, and they regain possession. As now it's Anthony Dowd on the near point. Beck tries to play it across as it was Bennett Shimmick coming across the blue line. He just kind of faded out of the zone, and now Mateo Giappo with a steal, fires that one right over the glove shoulder of Hasley. A couple of near misses for the RedHawks. Haven't really had an issue getting shots. It's more about finding ways to hit the net or, you know, get it through bodies. We talked about that earlier in this game as Arizona State leads the block shot category 10-4. Shots are in favor, shot attempts I should say, are in favor of ASU 36-34, but like we said, I mean, the shots on goal 23-13 now in favor of the Sun Devils, so pretty big difference there. As 2 Miami players collide, that's Smith and Helgeson. Smith ends up with the puck though, makes a nice drag move. Now it's Helgeson. Helgeson fires that one shouldered away by Hasley. Now it's Michaud, plays it up to Smith. Smith toe drags, fires that one's blocked. Michaud in front, not able to get control of the puck, and it bounces around in the slot. Michaud had all day to try and make a move, but the puck just bounced on him, wasn't able to. Really unfortunate break for the young RedHawks defender. Now it's Powell for Arizona State. Gives it over to his line mate in center, Smolin. He'll just rim it around. Nicholas Mikan makes a reverse hit on Powell, and Powell ends up with the puck. Now it's Keevan. Keevan loses the puck thanks to Ryder Thompson's stick check, and now Helgeson comes out the other way. And now Mikan. Mikan has no help, takes a check from Court. As the rest of this Miami line was getting a change, and now it's Keevan on the center red. He'll just backhand it down low, and Drobac's out to play it. Lukashevich behind his net, makes a stretch pass up to David Deputy, but he misses the puck, and that'll be all the way down for icing on Miami. So Miami gets a good chance early, unable to convert, but Aiden, that's kind of what you're looking for. Try and set the standard, set the tone for this period. As you know, last period it kind of felt like Arizona State really dominated early, and that set the tone as you know, as they move forward throughout those 20 minutes. Yeah,
it looks like Miami is able to set up those assists. It's just that end up finishing move that Miami lacks in this third period.
Shellberg plays it cross ice for Barron. Now Shellberg once more. Good poke by McEwen, and now it's Deputy the other way. Deputy's walled off by Shellberg. Good physical play there by the defender from Sweden. Cedar Rapids out of the USHL. Not a guy that's going to score you a ton of points. It's only 2 assists in 6 games this season. But he does get his points. Most importantly, he's just a strong 200-foot defender that head coach Greg Powers really likes on the Sun Devil squad. And just a sophomore as well, which of course means only good things for this ASU program. As they dump the puck in, it's Alfano, and he'll just go for a change. Now it's Nick Donato for Miami. Up the far side, has his pocket picked by Beck, and now it's 3-on-1 the other way, but a good back check from Miami. Potter shoots, rebound in front as the puck didn't get through the Miami defender. Shot was technically blocked, and it just kind of sat in front. Drobak was way out of his net, able to kind of come back, and now it's Morozov out to Giampa in front, but the puck is in his skates, and now it's the other way for ASU. Johnny Waldron receives a pass from Beck. He'll play it out to the middle, but nobody's there, and Morozov and Thompson go 2-on-2 the other way. Now it goes 3-on-3 with Delic. Delic has to stop at the line, and he tried to stretch out, but Morozov made a move. And I'm going to shout out Luke Westpoli here, of course, our sports director at Red Hawk Radio. Love talking to him about just how annoying it is when you make moves at the blue line and you have to stop. And that was the case there, as it's one of our favorite topics of conversation. Not really, as it is a frustrating thing to do. Or see happen even, I should say.
If it is one common theme, it is definitely the icing and the penalty calls today. A lot of dead action in between each play.
Yeah, obviously no goals in that last period, so I wouldn't have classified it as a fast period, but like you said, Aiden, there was plenty of downtime, penalties and icings all the way around. Nonetheless, this third period ends up being a little smoother, as Ryan Smith picks off a pass from the corner, and now Lukashevich plays it near side for Helgeson. Helgeson holds, tries to play it in front for Hay. Puck sits there, and now ASU's going to come the other way. It's Lucius in court. Good play by Michaud to pressure Lucius on his way through the neutral zone, and now it's Ryan Smith. Smith plays catch with Michaud, and he tries a stretch pass. Helgeson gets tangled up with Smolin, and he's going to get a penalty for holding. Not really a surprise, as his loose arm that wasn't on his stick kind of wrapped around the shoulder of Smolin, and you're going to get called for that anytime. Yep, it is going to be 2 minutes for holding, and Arizona State's going to come back on the power play up 2-1. They have a power play goal already tonight.
Yeah, Noreen being very vocal about this call right here.
Yeah, Anthony Noreen holding his hands up as he's still yelling at referee Brian Hankes, and not pleased at all. But from our angle, it kind of looked like he did get that free arm around him, and unfortunately, it's even if you don't mean to do that, you're going to get called for it every time. It's pretty blatant. Also, of course, depends on how he goes down and everything as well. But nonetheless, Miami heads to the penalty kill. draw ends up on the far half wall, and Morozov comes out with it, makes another move at the blue line, and Stupka ended up going in offside. Now it's Morozov again. Morozov fires into the shin pads of Kipke. A good start to this penalty kill shift for Morozov. He's going to go off for a change. Kipke just taps the puck back to Beck. Beck plays it cross for Shimmick. Now Shimmick crosses the blue. Now it's Lucius near side. Lucius to Potter. Potter and Lucius exchange puck and positions. Now Shimmick just plays it low. Beck's there first. He's going to rim it around for Potter on the near side. Potter near point. Plays it low for Beck up to Kipke. Over for Lucius. That one's blocked by Michael Phelan. And now it's Phelan will just clear it down after a misplay along the wall by Lucius. 58 seconds remaining on this Miami penalty kill. It's Anthony Dowd. Gives it back for Morrell. Morrell plays it near side for Powell. Powell will just dump it all the way in. Ty Nash is there to meet it. Smolin tries to backhand it down. A clear attempt by McEwen. Ends up on the stick of David Deputy. He enters the Miami zone. He fires that one. Sticked away by Hasley. Good play from Deputy to Delic, and now Delic is hauled down in front. No call coming. Deputy's just going to take it back. He's harassed by Nash. Got to make sure you don't turn it over, as that's a risky play, but Deputy with a good shift there on the penalty kill generates a chance, and Delic confused as to why there wasn't a call. Same thing with the crowd, but no call coming regardless. As there's 10 seconds remaining on this Miami penalty kill, Morrell's just going to dump it in deep. Donato's there to meet it first. He hacks away at it, but it doesn't get out. Now it's Powell, a good stick play by Giampa, and now it's Giampa the other way. He's tripped, and Miami's going to get a power play out of it.
The fans finally get the call they want.
Yep. So with 12:41 remaining in this third period, kind of seems like Miami's starting to generate something, maybe some energy coming back into Goggin. And the RedHawks are going to go to the man advantage. It'll be Noah Powell heading to the box. 2 minutes for tripping when we come back from this media timeout. You're listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. The spooky edition of Jump Around being played here, which is just the Jump Around song with people in Halloween costumes dancing to it, instead of your normal Miami gear. And the RedHawks headed to the power play. 1 for 5 on the night. 6th power play of the game. 11 power plays total between the two teams. And these two teams are very penalized, talking about it during the break, Aiden. 8.7 penalty minutes per game for Miami and 10 even for Arizona State. So not surprising that we've seen a lot of players in the box tonight, and probably will tomorrow. It's a stretch pass from Giampa, finds the stick of Morozov, but he just misses it. Asley comes way out of his net to play it, and now Miami has it in the zone. Grimes leaves it off just a little bit too far for Ryder Thompson, and the puck is cleared all the way down. Really good chance for Morozov had he collected that puck, but it just kind of slipped off his stick. And now Miami comes back with it. It's Grimes. Grimes near side, tries to play it low, but that's picked off by the Arizona State killer. And now it's Grimes once more. Grimes holds, Back to Delic, and Delic makes a spin pass, but Thompson was moving across the blue line, just wasn't able to get anything going. And now the RedHawks have to regroup as the puck is rimmed around off a the end wall where the Zamboni doors. A little bit of a weird bounce, and it bounces right to the Arizona State penalty killers, so a fortunate break with 50 seconds remaining on this Miami power play. Second unit out for Anthony Noreen. It's Ethan Hay to Nasson. Now Lukashevich in, but Lukashevich is not able to collect a puck after a stick lift and sent down once more. Michael Quinn is back to collect it behind his own net. Now it's Ryan Smith. Lukashevich enters the zone. He dumps it back and immediately turns the puck over to Bennett Shimmick, who goes in 1-on-2 shorthanded. He flips it to himself. Shimmick tries to make a shot, but it keeps bouncing on him, and he's just going to play it back to his defender. That's Sam Court, all the way in their own end. 10 seconds remaining in this Miami power play, and crowd getting a little restless here, not really able to get anything going, the RedHawks, and almost a too many men penalty on Miami as Casper Nassen was slow to get off the ice, and a broken stick results in a turnover. Blake Messenberg fires, but that's shouldered away. Rebound in front. Nicholas Mikan not able to get to it. Now it's David Deputy. Deputy fires right into the chest of Hasley. Rebound in front once more. Blake Messenberg not able to get to it, sends it wide. This Miami fourth line buzzing off of a broken stick by Cullen Potter. And now it's 2-on-1 the other way, but the pass just missed the stick of Jack Beck and goes all the way down for icing. What a flurry.
Yeah, just one breakaway for the RedHawks, and it almost led to many attempts at a goal. Unfortunately, none of them capitalized, and it is still 2-1.
Some big saves by Connor Hasley.
Looking at shots on goal. Yeah, looking at shots on goal this period, 4-1 in favor of Miami. Definitely momentum has shifted their way.
I believe 3 of those were on that chance by Messenberg, and that fourth line is Cullen Potter enters the zone offside, or I believe that was Powell that did. Potter had the puck. So we're going to get a neutral zone draw here with 10:03 in the third period, and still a 1-goal game, so obviously within reach for Miami as of now. Just going to keep throwing pucks to the net, and that's what they've been doing to start this period. I guess I should say halfway through this period. So Miami first line gets another crack at it. Puck is played in deep by Arizona State. Drobac's out to play it. Ryder Thompson fires that one down, and it's going to be icing on Miami.
Yeah, we're starting to approach this end game here. It's all about possession for these Arizona State Sun Devils. So again, we talk about faceoffs and how crucial they are. This is the most important part of the game when it comes to faceoffs. Just maintaining possession is key.
So a big defensive zone draw here for the RedHawks. It's Morozov. He loses it though. Anthony Dowd now with it. Dowd plays it cross ice, kicked away by Droback on the shot from Bozer. Now Bozer cross ice for Dowd near side. Shimmick tries to play it through to Dowd and unable to do so, as now it's Kosha Delic with it. Delic for Miami tries to just float it in, and a big jump by Kipke. He goes up in the air, and we're going to have a little break in the action as Delic gets in the face of an Arizona State player. Can't see who that is. Looks like it might be, is it Bennett Shimmick? No, it is not. Shimmick is on the ice, but it is not him. I will say the one thing that I don't like about these jerseys, as much as I do enjoy them, it's weird not seeing numbers on the arms.
Yeah, that is a little different.
Noticed that early on. It, obviously just a kind of aesthetic thing, nothing.
Again, not a lot of yellow hockey jerseys
yes,
either.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a Predators fan, of course, I like the yellow. I like this mix of yellow and maroon and white, though. It's it's not too much yellow, not too much red, not too much white. Arizona State usually does a really good job with all of their jerseys.
Almost like a Western Michigan color scheme, too.
Yes, absolutely. Here comes Cruz Lucius, fires that one just over the glove side of Droback on the rush. So another quick chance for Arizona State as Miami just trying to generate anything. As now it's Cruz Lucius. He's brought down, and it's going to be a penalty on the RedHawks. Casper Nossen got a stick in the skates of Lucius, and Miami's going to go back to the penalty kill for the 6th time tonight.
And Nossen just had his stick a little too far. These are some penalties that Miami needs to try to avoid.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to obviously, make a play on the puck, but Lucius kind of outskated him, and if you're not moving your feet against a guy like Cruz Lucius, you're going to pay, and Nossen just did, as he's going to sit in the box for 2 minutes. Arizona State, this power play just can't keep giving them opportunities as they have way too much talent to be allowed back on the man advantage. And it starts with the guy in the face-off circle, Cullen Potter. Ethan Hay will square off against him on the far side of the Miami defensive zone. Once again, Miami moving right to left. Arizona State moving left to right, as now it's David Deputy. He's first to the puck, and will just bring it out. And now Arizona State has to regroup. Jack Beck enters the zone clean. Plays it off the wall for Potter. Potter to Kipke, center point. Back to Potter near side. Now Kipke over for Shimmick. Beck and Shimmick played catch. Now down low, it's Shimmick, sorry. I believe that's McGurn on the far side, yes. Or it's Lucius on the far side, excuse me. Lucius up to Kipke. Now Potter. Potter over to Lucius. Lucius fakes the shot, holds. Now it's Shimmick. Shimmick tries to play it in front for Beck, but that's blocked by the skate of Mikey Phelan. Arizona State maintains possession, though. Kipke center point. Lucius now, far side. Lucius back to Kipke. Kipke holds down to Potter. Potter plays it in front. Puck is loose. Droback's out of his net. Lucius fires into the bodies, and it's blocked by Ethan Hay. Potter now with the puck again. It's Lucius near side. Lucius drags, holds, tries to play it in front for Shimmick, and just out of his reach, and Miami able to get out of that with no damage done. 47 seconds remaining on this Arizona State power play. That first unit for Arizona State is as dangerous as any unit in college hockey. My goodness. Clean zone entry by Arizona State, but a misplaced pass across the blue line is the reason why they came back out to the neutral zone, and now they'll just have to regroup again. Bozer plays it in deep. Pinching in for a moment, then heading back to the blue line as Miami regroups. Puck bounces in front. That was Sam Alfano. He couldn't get a clean shot, and Miami sends it all the way down. And now back to even strength are the RedHawks after a penalty kill. Both teams are 1 for 6 on the man advantage tonight. 6:56 remaining in this third period. A long stretch pass down to Casper Nossen, but just after coming out of the box, he's not able to handle it cleanly, and it goes down for icing.
Yeah, the RedHawks were really effective on the penalty kill. Arizona State tried to be a little too cute with all their passes, but Miami seemed to understand what they were doing and very well so blocked all their shots.
Another offensive zone draw for Arizona State. Stupka to take it for Miami against Kyle Smolin, the third line center for Greg Powers in Arizona State. Stupka wins it clean back to Quinn, and Quinn will just maintain possession, hold it for a moment before giving over to his partner Michaud. Michaud dumps it in and chases. Tries to play it back down, and getting in on it is Quinn. Play out top is Nossen. Nossen looks towards the net, deflected right off the glove of Hasley. He did not see that puck, but was in the right spot at the right time and ended up hitting his glove and going wide. Quinn makes a nice move, but is hit right after the move and ends up just kind of throwing the puck into the bodies in front. Now it's Doug Grimes, plays it across for Stupka. Stupka just turns and plays that one loosely in. Arizona State gets possession early. Almost could have been a trip on Helgeson. Nothing going there, but Helgeson's going to grab the puck, fire it once again into the chest of Hasley. Be a little shaken up on that play, but Arizona State's netminder makes a big save and gets back up to his feet. So we have hit our second and final media timeout of the period. 6:01 remaining in the third period. Arizona State still up a goal. 2-1 is our score. We'll be back with you. You're listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. Back for the final 6 minutes of the third period. Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. My name is Jeff Middleton alongside Aiden Sones. Ryan Smith fires to the blocker side. Rebound goes right to Lukashevich. Miami coming out of this this media timeout with some fire in their bellies. My goodness. As now it's Smith again. Smith with the hot hand fires a toe drag shot just over the net. Now it's Helgeson. Helgeson center point, carries it around the zone, just flips it to the corner. It's Hay, now Smith. Plays out in front, Helgeson! That one saved by Hasley. Rebound sitting in the crease, but Miami can't get it to go. Helgeson tries to play it back out in front for Hay. My goodness, the RedHawks come out and get a couple of good chances, but now it's Arizona State 2-on-1. Lucius loses the puck to Lukashevich, a good stick play. Hasley with a sprawling save on the rebound to stop Miami from scoring the tying goal early. Saw associate coach Troy Thibodeau with the whiteboard during the media timeout, and sure seems like whatever they were planning over on the Miami bench, obviously you want a goal out of that, but able to get some good chances and kind of create some momentum as Ryder Thompson's going to send this one down low for Coach Adelic, who meets it on the far half wall. He plays it backhand to the middle for Giampa. This line's been relatively quiet tonight. Giampa tries to play it to himself off the wall, unable to do so. Now Morozov plays it backhand to Giampa. Now Giampa wants more Morozov. Now Thompson deflected. That one just goes wide. Oh, a late call by the referee. Giampa not happy with that. Arizona State's bench was up in arms about a potential trip, and seemed like it took the Arizona State bench yelling about it to force the arm of the referee up, but nonetheless, Mateo Giampa is going to go to the box for tripping and put Miami on another penalty kill.
Yeah, normally this line of Delic, Morozov, and Giampa, they're known for their points, but today they're known for their penalty minutes. Both Morozov and Giampa both have a penalty.
They are two of many in this game to go and sit in the box. This will be our 13th power play that we've seen tonight. Arizona State, this is Arizona State's 7th, and Miami has 6. Just can't give, I'll say it again, you can't give this Arizona State power play as many chances as you're giving them, otherwise they're going to convert. As David Deputy using his wheels to bring the puck all the way to the offensive zone and play it back to Sean McEwen. Let's try and kill some time off the clock here. It's Ethan Hay. Now Deputy. Deputy just pins the puck against the wall. Killed about 25 seconds of time that this first penalty kill unit. Deputy's going to go off after using his wheels. Try and keep bodies fresh as we enter crunch time. 3:50 remaining in this third period. Donato meets the dump in. Cullen Potter's there. And now it's Lucius alone. Lucius fires, glove save by Droback. Puck bounces out to Kipke. Kipke once more gives to Lucius. Lucius down low for Beck. Now back up to Lucius near side. Lucius holds. Beck makes a 1-second pass to Lucius. It's deflected, but ends up right back on the stick of Kipke and really hammering this near side. Kipke just kind of bats the puck down to Cullen Potter. Now Shimmick back up to Potter, far half side, far half wall. Potter down to Shimmick. Shimmick tries a cross ice pass to Beck, but puck just bounces on net instead, and now it's Beck. Now Kipke center point. Big block by Morozov. Now it's Lucius near side. Lucius plays it in front, deflected. It's Shimmick, but big save by the right pad of Droback, and Morozov's just going to send this one all the way down the ice. 28 seconds remaining on this Miami penalty kill. 2:50 remaining in this third period. Arizona State's got to regroup. Here comes Morel. Morel will just hammer it down low. Stupka's there first, unable to get it. Deflected in front once more by Powell. Excuse me, that's Morel. My goodness. Deflections in front, causing a little bit of havoc for Mateo Droback, but he's standing tall in a 1-goal game.
Yeah, if you're Miami, you're really proud of your penalty kill here. Even David Deputy, I've noticed every time he's on the penalty kill, he always drives the puck to the other side of the ice, and essentially that is what's throwing Arizona off on their power play.
Deputy having a really strong game after missing some time due to an injury, fumbling around with the puck. Miami was, and Ty Nash gets a shot, but 3 seconds remaining on this Miami penalty kill, and like you said, Aiden, you have to be happy with your penalty kill, how they've looked. Obviously, Arizona State's always going to get their chances, but killing off 6 penalties is not an easy feat against the kind of talent that Arizona State has. And puck is floated out of play by Arizona State. The Miami bench is saying it should be in the Arizona State defensive zone. If that's the case, I would assume Mateo Droback will leave the net, but no. It will just stay in the neutral zone. It will be on the Arizona State side, and Ethan Hay is going to call a timeout here for head coach Anthony Noreen. Miami is going to take their timeout with 2:13 remaining in the third period. 2-1 is our score. Arizona State leads. Shots 28-19 in favor of the Sun Devils. And Aiden, obviously a crucial game for both teams here. Arizona State start 2-4 in non-conference play, and a big conference win against a team like Miami that is, has a little bit of swagger, has that undefeated record. Obviously, they're not playing teams like Penn State or anything like that, but it's hard to get 6 straight wins in college hockey and professional hockey, anything like that, any high-level sport. So, if you're Arizona State, this is just as much crunch time as it is for Miami. It's just as much pressure to try and get a goal for Miami. And these Sun Devils have played a pretty solid first road game here.
Yeah, one other thing of note, both teams have received votes in the polls for college hockey. I know Miami, some people were speculating they would reach the top 20 because of their 6-0 record. They did not, but Arizona State is right behind them in the polls. So this is a very close game. So it shows that both teams deserve to be near each other.
Yeah, it has been a pretty tight game. Not a lot of open ice. Their first period was probably the period where the passes were being completed the most. As since the second period began, it's maybe not choppy is the word, but a little bit less of connected passes, stringing together 3 or 4 passes in a row as Mateo Drobak's going to head to the Miami bench. Net is empty for the RedHawks, and Arizona State has possession in their own zone. 6-on-5 as Shellberg looks towards the empty net. He's just going to pin the puck against the wall. Miami trying to create a turnover. They do. It's Grimes. He plays it cross ice for Quinn. 1:45 remaining in the third period. Lukashevich fires. That one is just sent wide. Coach Adelic fanned on the play. Quinn plays it over for Lukashevich. A good pass and a good move. Now it's Coach Adelic once more far side. Delic to Quinn. That one's one-timed. A big block in the middle of the ice by Smolin. He is down and hurt. Puck bounced its way out to neutral ice. Miami's right back in the zone, though, as Doug Grimes is going to try and win a battle. He does. Up to Morozov, and now it's Delic far side. Delic holds. That one's fired. Blocked again by the Sun Devils, once again showing their tenacity, and the outlet pass is broken up and played down the ice. It's Shimmick. Net is empty once again. Big play on the back check by Giampa, but Miami's going to get a penalty on it. And Giampa is incensed. He is absolutely furious. He just shot the puck at the wall, slammed his stick on the crossbar, and a really great back check play, but he ended up tripping the man he was back checking on. I don't remember who that was. I believe it was Morel. Just watch this play back. The puck bounced over Quinn's stick on the far side of the offensive zone, and it looked like Arizona State had the empty net goal in their hands. Giampa came racing back. He dove and made a nice one-handed play, but in the process, the Arizona State player went down, and referee called a penalty. And I think, after 7 power plays to Arizona State, of course, Miami had 6, so not saying that there's any favoritism there. Obviously there wouldn't be, but when that's the kind of penalty that determines a game, you have 1 minute left, you have possession in the offensive zone, something goes awry, and you get called for a penalty there. I can definitely say I understand the frustration, even if it wasn't a bad call per se.
Yeah, with 1 minute remaining in the third period, this penalty obviously is 2 minutes long. So if Miami scores...
And Jack Beck scores right off the draw. Arizona State wastes no time getting their insurance goal. It's 3-1. Sun Devils. So I guess you could say puck don't lie. Teo Giampa took his time coming out of the box as Sam Court is going to go get that puck for Jack Beck, his first career collegiate goal in his first career collegiate game. Jack Beck, didn't mention this at the start, but he is a little bit of controversy as he came from the ECHL. He has played professional hockey before, played a few games in the AHL as well with the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Penguins. He's been all around it tonight, obviously an extremely talented player, but obviously been a source of controversy for all of the NCAA schools who have been adding players who have played professional games.
Well, I know it was already a huge controversy enough. The CHL is coming to the NCAA. So a lot of controversies recently in terms of who is eligible to be in college hockey.
I think with the CHL, obviously with, it's a juniors league, so you understand why that would at least make sense, but, being able to be, I guess having the ability to be eligible for college hockey, having played a handful of professional games, actually more than a handful of professional games, it's set kind of the college hockey world on fire, and Jack Beck makes his mark in his first career game as an Arizona State Sun Devil and as a college hockey player. And like I said, puck does not lie. Giampa obviously unhappy with that penalty and prevented the empty net, but a quick play up the wall from Arizona State. Cullen Potter takes it in the zone right as Mateo Drobak hits the bench, and he deposits it in the empty net to put Arizona State up 4-1. And that is Potter's first goal of the season as he goes to the bench and takes the monkey off his back. So I'm sure that has to be a relieving feeling for the sophomore from Minneapolis, Minnesota, a guy who was, if not the Sun Devils' best player as a freshman, one of their best players as a freshman last season. So with 18 seconds left, the puck is down, and the Sun Devils are just going to hold it in their own zone. Blake Messenberg is going to give a little bit of a cross-check to Kipke. Loses a glove in the process, and time will expire on this Halloween night game. Arizona State takes the victory 4-1. One empty netter added on to a third period insurance goal by Jack Beck, freshman from Richmond Hill, Ontario. Came from Wilkes-Barre of the AHL, and Aiden, that's a tough one to lose if you're Miami. I think you play a hard game. It's your first conference game of the year. Obviously, we mentioned it earlier in this broadcast, but a lot of these guys, not only have they not played college hockey games before this season, but also they haven't played NCHC games at all. And Arizona State just kind of showed them that you make mistakes, you end up paying for it. The kind of shooting talent that they have, the kind of just talent in general that they have. Connor Hasley, goaltender, made some huge saves down the stretch, and as a result, Arizona State comes out on top in this one.
Again, we have such a young team. We have a bunch of freshmen, a bunch of sophomores. Again, no NCHC experience for them. And now you're asking to face one of the top NCHC programs in Arizona State. It's a huge task to take, and we'll see if they can overcome that task tomorrow night.
So tomorrow night, like you said, puck drop at 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be here with you once again for this Halloween weekend edition of Miami Hockey. Thank you so much for joining us after this brief intermission. Will Salzarulo will have your post-game report, and we will see you guys tomorrow at 6:05 for puck drop between these two programs once again. For Aiden Sones, my name's Jeff Middleton. Appreciate everyone tuning in to this edition of Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio.
You're listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. Here's the final roundup for tonight's game. Arizona State wins it in the third, winning 4-1. Penalties in the third. 2 goals was gotten by Arizona State. The first one was by Jack St. Beck. It was a power play goal assisted by Bennett Schmeich. Second goal of the third period was also ASU as an empty net goal by Colin Potter, unassisted. Now, overall tonight, shots on net tonight, there were 20 shots from Miami, 30 by ASU. And for the game overall, first period, Miami 1, opponent ASU 2. Second, the score remains the same. In third, Miami with 1, ASU with 4. Block shots, Miami with 10, ASU with 16. Faceoffs were pretty even, I'd say. Miami with 26, ASU with 27. And that's the end of the game. Miami loses its first game of the season and losing their first conference game of the season as well. ASU 4, Miami 1. Miami is now 6-1-0 for overall in conference 0-1-0. ASU brings their win tally by 1 with 3-4-0, bringing their conference record to 1-0. You can see Miami Hockey in 2 weeks on November 14th at Western Michigan. You've been listening to Red Hawk Radio, Miami Hockey. I've been Will Salzarulo. Have a great night. Thank you for listening.